You want to just go ahead and jump right into the spoiler-filled version? This will be the fun one.
Right into it. The movie begins in media res, with the Avengers already in action. We learn that they have already been on the hunt for Hydra and Loki's scepter for quite some time. So the movie begins with the Avengers attacking Hydra's seemingly final stronghold in the Eastern European either nation or city, that I'm not entirely sure, but anyway in Sokovia, where the final stronghold is. They attack it, and here they encounter the Maximoff twins for the first time, and they eventually take out Baron Zemo, they take out Hydra, and they recapture the scepter of Loki. During the raid of Hydra's compound, they also discover Hydra's attempts at creating artificial intelligence, and during their later examination of the Mind Gem, they find that it contains codes for creating artificial intelligence, which Tony Stark then uses to vitalize the Ultron protocol, which designed to protect the Earth. Of course, Ultron then gains conscience right away, vitalized by Hydra technology and the Mind Gem, and then he starts his takeover. So that is the basic gist of the story.
So one thing I'm dying to know, and I kind of put this towards the end of our agenda, but now I kind of want to bump it up towards the front. Right off the bat, who are the characters that you didn't know would be in there, but Marvel put in? I mean, are there any?
None that I was aware. I just have to preface this with I'm not all that big on the Avengers comics. I know my Punisher, I know my Hulk, I know my Dark comics in general, but I don't really know all that much about Avengers comic or the Captain America comics or Iron Man comics. And there was one character that I do not know if was made for the movie, and that was a female doctor, South Korean doctor. I don't remember the character's first name, but the surname was Cho. If she is in the comics, then yes, she is one that Marvel has kept a secret. But of high-profile, recognizable characters, there are none that have not been revealed in trailers before.
So then, no Winter Soldier and no Thanos.
No, well, let's get back to that. There's no Winter Soldier. But if we get back to the post-credits bit, there is Thanos. There is a Thanos reference.
Oh, excellent.
You know who I forgot? Heimdall. Heimdall is in it, and I just clean forgot about it.
Oh, no, that's cool. That's interesting. Yeah. From Thor.
Yes, he's in it.
Oh, yeah. So one question that kind of randomly popped into my head. So we know there's the Hulkbuster armor in this movie. What about other new Iron Man features in his armor?
There are no brand new features, but there is an evolution of something that we've already seen in Iron Man 3. When he walks out of his suit, the suit operates independently and functions as a sentry, as a bodyguard, guarding him. So that's a new feature that we haven't seen before, but it's an evolution from what we've already seen in Iron Man 3.
Cool. So does that tie into the Jarvis AI?
Yeah, that's all Jarvis. That's cool. All Jarvis right there.
Speaking of Jarvis, how does that play into the situation with Vision? I mean, it seems like they're tied together, but I haven't wanted to look too deeply until we've gotten pretty close here.
They are tied together, absolutely. You might think that the Vision essentially is Jarvis in a new body, and that is not the case. It's more accurate to say that the Vision is the offspring of Ultron and Jarvis. Sappy as that may sound, that's the best description I can give. So there's definitely something going on there. Oh yeah, it's hot. There's plenty of action there.
Unexpected romance.
Yes, that's an unexpected romance right there. We should go back to that.
We got a question from CP Maverick, and he wants to know, what does Steve say to the team after he gets cut off for the credits? So I'm not sure. Is that something specific that you think this gentleman who asked this question knows about already? Or
I would imagine that this gentleman either has seen the movie or heard about the end, probably heard about it, because if he'd seen it, then he would know that the movie ends with Captain America addressing his new Avengers. And then he begins by saying, Avengers, and then cut to credits. So we actually have no idea what he was about to say after that, but I imagine it was assemble.
I wonder if that's what they'll call the next movie. Boy, that would be cheesy.
Yeah,
I
that
hope
would
they
be
don't go
cheesy.
that route.
Nah, I think they've already locked down Infinity Wars. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. You called it. All right. So Lindsay Hall would like to know, probably something a lot of the ladies would like to know. Is Loki in the movie?
He is not. There is a scene in Valhalla. It's a dream sequence. So if Loki is in it, it would have been a blink and you miss it reference. And if there was one, I must have blinked. But I don't think there was one. I don't think that we saw Loki.
You've kind of described already the post-credit scene. Were there any more details to share with everybody listening?
Yeah, absolutely. There is no post-credit scene in the international version at the very least. Maybe there will be in the American, but there is a mid-credit scene, and it features Thanos. In my opinion, it was a really, really cool scene, because basically it begins with the Infinity Gauntlet. Without any gems, just the gauntlet itself in a closet or locker room, which is then opened, picked up by Thanos, who then says something along the lines of, okay, so I shall have to do this myself, obviously referring to that he has to collect the Infinity Gems himself, since he can't trust anyone else to do it for him, which more than implies that Thanos has been some kind of puppet master for the events in this movie, as well as several of the others.
Interesting. So how about the status quo of the universe after this movie? I think the first part of that is, do any of the main characters die?
Well, that depends on how you define die and how do you define main character. Of the main characters, of the main principal Avengers, no, none of them dies. They all make it out to the end of the movie. Quicksilver, however, who is portrayed as a big character in this film, and you kind of expect him to carry on, does not make it till the end. Likewise, Baron Zemo, who is actually in a very small role. You'd think he would have a bigger role, but he doesn't make it till the end. Then there is Ultron and Jarvis. And it's kind of implied that neither of them make it. So maybe you would call Jarvis a major character. I'm not sure I would, but he doesn't make it.
Irrecognizable anyway.
Some aspect of him lives on, but not the Jarvis that we know and love. So by the end, Tony Stark has a new AI controlling his suits and helping him out. A female voice, Friday.
Do you know if that's a reference to something?
I honestly don't know. Maybe
No,
it's a reference to Robinson Crusoe.
It seems like a missed reference that they could have just done a big Microsoft ad and had Cortana. They're not learning their product placement rules. All right. How about any other major status quo changes that shake up the Marvel movie universe? I mean, obviously Ultron himself seems to be a huge force to be reckoned with, but is this going to carry on into other films? I mean, will the after effects of this movie be felt for more than a few minutes after the movie's over?
Yes, absolutely. There is major devastation done in South Africa. There is major devastation done in Kanda, I believe, in this Eastern European nation where the Romanovs hail from. There is massive destruction. And the movie is similar to Man of Steel in this regard. The Avengers, they go out of their way to help people and to save people, and they're very successful at it. But ultimately, the problems they help people from are the ones that they themselves caused. Ultron could not exist without Tony Stark. He's the one responsible for all of the events, at least as far as we can see. Of course, there's some level of manipulation going on, but he's the active ingredient. And so the movie is really about the Avengers cleaning up Tony Stark's mess, which he is not entirely guilty in creating. There's more to it, but yeah, you can blame them for what happened. So there definitely will be consequences, and I can see how that is going to lead up into civil war with someone wanting to control the superhuman population, because now they've really done major damage without there being an external threat that wouldn't have without them. As for Ultron himself, he is everything of him is, as far as we can tell, neatly tied up. So the movie kind of implies that he won't return, but the effects of his devastation will definitely be felt.
Okay. I guess just to wrap it up, it sounded like you were pretty positive about the movie overall, but what about a specific scene? I mean, is there a specific scene that you thought was really cool that people should watch out for and say, hey, that's the one Andre told me about?
There's one really cool scene, and it involves a character actually lifting Thor's hammer. By the way, for anyone wondering, how do you pronounce the name of Thor's hammer? I'm Norwegian, I know this. The proper pronunciation is Mjolnir. That's how you say it. Mystery solved.
I'm only going to embarrass myself if I try.
Don't. Mjolnir is fine for Americans, but the proper way of saying it is Mjolnir. So that is then one really cool scene. I think the most powerful scene is one where Banner, in a sense, sacrifices himself. And I won't go into any more detail unless you ask me, but that was also a really powerful scene.
I think we can afford it. If people want to avoid the really major spoiler, maybe cut out now. We're winding down towards the end anyway. But yeah, I think I want to hear about it.
Yeah, this all goes back to the budding romance with Black Widow. Because the interesting thing is that it's Black Widow who is keen on Bruce Banner, but he is a little bit more hesitant. He is the one who, he's obviously charmed by her, but he kind of doesn't reciprocate. And Captain America even tries to tell him, don't wait too long, I'm the expert on that. But still, he holds back because he knows he's dangerous. He knows the Hulk is dangerous. He's afraid of hurting her, and how much time of her life is she going to waste on him when he can't be there for the long run? He always has to be there, hiding, avoiding people for fear of accidentally hurting them. So towards the end, he finds himself in a jet, and Black Widow then tries to calm him down, find out where he is so he can come back to the rest. And then Banner, in the guise of Hulk, just closes the screen and goes where the jet takes him, which is implied to be into space. And he does so voluntarily, isolate himself, sacrificing his own happiness for the sake of Black Widow and humankind.
Oh my god, that's sad.
Yeah, it's really sad, but it all goes back to the Hulk, which is really a tragic character, and I think they really nail that here. His loneliness and his isolation, and here he has, in some ways, a kindred spirit, but he still has to shy away, because he knows how dangerous he can be. See the movie. It's an awesome movie. It's very unexpected, but I think people are gonna dig it. But it's also gonna be very divisive, I think. Polarize opinions between those who will appreciate the movie for the story that it tells, and for those who expect it to be entertained in a fun kind of way. So I think there's going to be some polarizing there. But overall, it's a very good movie and a very good new installment to the ever-growing cinematical Marvel universe.
All right. Well, I think that'll just about do it then for this edition of Midnight's Edge. Thank you, Andre, for sharing all that with us.
My pleasure. Hope you all enjoy.
All right. Follow us on Facebook. You can check us out at facebook.com/groups/Midnight's Edge. Also, don't forget about us on Twitter at Midnight's Edge. You can also visit our site at midnightsedge.net. Also, look for other videos on midnightsedge.net/YouTube. And this is Kevin signing off.
And Andre signing off and calling it the night because it's almost 5 a.m. in the morning here.
You've earned it, buddy.